I'm gonna post it again. This YouTuber go by the name of Paris Milan. She done put something on the community page that basically saying that podcasters are the worst thing that happened to the black community, and
Yeah,
that's like Paris Milan. Hold on, Paris Milan like doubled down with basically saying, in my opinion, most black male ran podcasts, and she put that in caps, and channels are the worst thing that happened to black women, specifically black women. I am beyond sick every time a dust mop goes viral for humiliating us. When will we get tired and stop participating in the abuse by giving them views, calling in, and showing up for the slaughter? Your degradation is generating the millions while your image and safety continue to suffer the most. So I bring this on to the panel. And specifically, I want to start with Father first, because basically, you and I both the first episode is basically you, me, and AJ when he was just there. So, and this prevalent of black male podcasters and all that stuff. But I want to start with you. How do you feel about her opinions on this?
In a way, she has a point. And, the only reason why I'm saying she has a point is because we see a lot of these podcasts, like, they're just dudes with they have different expectations when it comes to women from what, the average person is doing, or what the average dude is doing. So when they're making these podcasts, they're kind of spreading their perspective on things. And like, DJ Academics does it. Fresh and Fit, they do it. Like, they're dealing with a whole different type of women over there. So these dudes that are absorbing their game, they act a certain way, and I think that's what she's talking about. That type of like Kevin Samuels type shit. You know what I mean? So, and it's with these men who have like these podcasts. So like I understand where she's coming from when she's saying that. But she's making an overgeneralization, and I keep saying this. People don't make distinctions, so it gets hard, and the message gets lost because people are being generalized. Generalizations invite deflections. That's why this conversation is so fucking difficult to have. And she's making it worse by saying that type of shit and overgeneralizing when she really should be attacking the institutions that perpetuated that type of behavior in the first place. But here we are again, distracted, because we don't understand the actual root of the problem. And she's just doing that shit constantly. But you know what? At some point when people actually understand what the issue is, maybe they would have the solution. But if they keep distracting themselves with shit like that, then it's just going to repeat. Another person is going to say the same shit she's saying, and then we're back to wherever this conversation is leading us right now. It's going to happen again. But yeah, that's how I feel about it.
I do want to say this though. There for like the longest, even since I was growing up, there's been a lot of not just YouTube channels, but even shows that's dedicated to black women, and I'm all for them having that and all that stuff. But for the longest, as long as I've been watching like daytime talk shows or even some regular TV shows and all that other stuff, I've seen the whole women just talk about how, and I'm speaking on the black people in general, niggas ain't shit. They deadbeats and all that other stuff. All they do is in jail and all that stuff. And you are right. It's a bunch of overgeneralizing. They don't really pick out the specific people and all that other stuff. But as long as I've seen this, you don't really hear people like really pick out who is really doing this. Now, I know some people, they have the nicknames for it, the Pookies and the Ray Rays of the world and all that. But, most people don't even get to that type of picking it out. And one thing I will say, like, there are black male podcasts and TV that I don't want to say exposes, but I'll say it kind of exposes the delusion that some of these women have. There was something that Crystal sent me that it was over there in London, and this woman, she was talking about, I don't want to work. And I'm talking about delusional. These like super delusional women that she was like, I don't want to work and all that other stuff. I want the men to be the provider and all that stuff. Then she goes, I don't want to even give him the birthday gift. I am the birthday gift. I am the prize and all that other stuff. And like, sometimes you hear stuff about this, and then people go, "Nah, you don't see women like that. You don't hear women like that." So it kind of like puts the women on there. I will say that, and I do agree with some people. That's not every woman. I think you gotta specify who is doing these and what type of women are doing these. And most of the time, you hear modern woman, but we don't really know the specific of what is a modern woman these days, because that's kind of like a vague statement in itself, because I feel like anybody that's working could be considered a modern woman, even if they have traditional values. You do modern stuff and all that. I feel like I do feel like these black male podcasters are needed, because after a while we need a voice, and I feel like we need somewhere where if you want us to like fix our problems, I feel like black men got to be the ones to do it. So we got to be the ones addressing it and all that other stuff. Now, you know, like I said, depending on who you listen to, and that's why I say take a little bit from everybody, but don't really be like a super duper follower. You could take everything from somebody, because like I can understand why a lot of black women don't like Thomas Sotomayor, but I could take the good from what he was talking about, and you know, most of his stuff is factual. Same thing with Kevin Samuels. Same thing with Tariq Nasheed. Same thing with like an O'Shea Du Jackson. Even from Fresh and Fit, and even though they do some fraudulent shit and all that stuff, from an Abba and Preach, and but I could also take some stuff from some women, which you know, in their points, they do have points and all that other stuff. But I can't really say that black male podcasts are the worst thing that happened to black women. I feel like there's a lot of other things, bro. Tanya, I would like to hear from you.
All right, cool. I was waiting to jump in like double dutch. But I agree. I think that everybody needs a space to voice their opinions. Whether that's a podcast or whatever, you know, you just talking on YouTube, whatever. The problem is that there are women out there that feel like this is facts. You know what I mean? Like male podcasters or male whatever is like destroying the community, and no background, no facts, no proof, just this is what it is. So I definitely agree with you on taking different things from different people or different sources or different areas. But in like generally, like it's bullshit. Like I want to know who hurt her. That's where I come to. I want to know what guy fucked her over so bad to the point where she feels like but I bet he was on a podcast too. But anyway, to the point where all black podcast people are just how dare you destroy the community? Like of all the things that are destroying the community, that's not it. That's not it. You need to have a cause for something else. It's other things to focus on.
I have another theory in regards to that.
What?
Okay. And this goes to this touches on something I said right before we started recording, right? She's probably one of those chicks that went on to do an interview or whatever with somebody on somebody's podcast or whatever, and just got embarrassed because she fucked around and said something stupid. And the reason I came to that conclusion, like I said before, certain podcasts where it seems like they're more or less bashing women, like, you know, like Fresh and Fit. Because like I said before before recording started or whatever, there's moments when, okay, yeah, they spit facts, and there's moments when I'm like, okay, I don't know about all that shit. And their shit is heavily targeted. They know who to talk to. They know what to say and who the fuck to say it to. Look at the women that they typically have on their show. You can tell they be picking out just straight airheads. That's the only way to put it.
Or
That's really
picking
the only
people
way to
that,
just. What was you saying?
no, or picking people that they know agree with what they're saying. Because you're not
Not
going to
even.
invite somebody on the show that's going to have different opinions than you, because that's going to make you look stupid. So now
Not.
you just got a whole bunch of women just talking about stuff that don't make no sense.
It's not even. It's not even that. These girls, obviously, with the type of shit they saying, okay, no woman's gonna co-sign to it like that. But they be picking out girls, they clearly they can't. You could tell they can't articulate, their counter argument to the bullshit they're saying. These is, you know, most of these girls that they be having on the show, let's be real, they be Instagram broads. That's what most of them be. They be Instagram broads, chicks you see on Tumblr and shit like that. Models and shit. They've never had to get by on nothing but, but their looks. And those are the cats that, podcasts like Fresh and Fit are gonna target.
That might come into what Ray was saying about I am the gift. Like, I'm not going to buy him a gift because I am the gift, which is stupid. Like, come on now. But
See, I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna leave that one alone.
All right. Hey, Crystal, what about you? How you feel about this?
It's a double-ended sword. The reason why I say it's a double-ended sword is because obviously the woman that had a lot to say and overgeneralizing everything, as Fada put it, obviously she is hurt. And, I always talk about people seeking therapy. She overgeneralized it so much that she put the Black man into a category that he needs not to be. Whatever the fuck they're saying, or whoever has a podcast that just happens to be a Black man, is not going to make or break you. And that's the problem that I have with a lot of people's opinion about Kevin Samuels and Tom, whatever his name is, Tom Sawyer?
Tommy Sotomayor.
I don't know where I got Tom Sawyer, but you get it.
It's okay.
You just have to pronounce that name.
Because the power is in free speech, correct?
Right.
So power is in free speech. Why am I going to get butthurt if a Black man says on his podcast anything negative about the Black woman? Okay? He does not know me. That means he's hurt. And I have nothing to do with that unless he seeks out help for himself. I could talk to him and tell him why his opinion is not factual or logical in any sense or form. But for everyone, man and woman, sometimes when they get a platform, they just go sideways and speak out of emotion instead of logic. And we need to know who our enemies are. We want people like that to get on the podcast and speak foolishness so we know once they're done poisoning people, okay, they'll come over to Ray's podcast and get the fucking antidote. We don't want to shut these people up. The Black man has been shut up. The Black woman has been shut up a lot of times. And sometimes the podcast or YouTube or whatever platform they feel free, okay, because we know it's deeper than that. You can never be free on anything that you don't own. But anyway, that's a different topic. But at the end of the day, we need to know who are the people that spit out this fucking poison. And if we have the antidote for the people who are really seeking truth and not victimization. What she is a victim, unfortunately. She can't even pinpoint the exact people that she has an issue with. If she did, because I haven't heard or read the article of what she was talking about, so forgive me. But I just feel like because she was overgeneralizing the whole topic and just putting everybody in a group, she's doing the same thing that a lot of people do when they're judging Black people. So
thank you.
Yeah, it's not nice.
I like the way you put that. Oof.
And okay, and one thing, D Wolf, you got anything to say about that before I start?
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I think it's about perspective, because for the longest time, women usually had the floor when it came to talking about relationships. It would be like on every talk show, every movie, things of that nature, radio